Hey, Janome Long Armors. This is Jeannie, and I'm going to try to get what I hope is a pretty good video done so that you feel a little more confident updating your ProStitcher Premium to ProStitcher Connect and using the beta version that has been released. I've been playing with the beta version. I thought installing it was a little bit testy. But Kelly gave me a couple good points, which I should have thought of and didn't, only because I'm kind of a computer nerd. And it really does make a huge difference. So I'm going to try to follow what Kelly has said as well as walk you through a few other steps. Right now, with this part of the video, my assumption is that you have not updated from ProStitcher Premium yet to ProStitcher Connect. So one of the first things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to the ProStitcher.com website. You can see my pink arrow up at the top. And you're going to have to create an account if you have not already done so. If you have, you're good. If you haven't logged in, registered, it's free to do so. You do it right here. And it's just like registering for any other website, okay? So once you get logged in order to completely download, and if you haven't already updated to Connect, you're going to have to download the beta app. You'll be able to, once you've got an account, you're going to be able to take and log in, or I'm sorry, hit the software menu right here and go to software updates. It will tell you, if you haven't created an account, it will tell you you need to do so. Like I said, it's free. I wouldn't worry about it. So you have software updates. You select that. And we're not going to go with ProStitcher Connect right now. We're going to go directly to the PS Connect beta. I'm going to click on that. And it kind of describes what beta software is. Beta software technically is software that's still being tested. In other words, if there are bugs, they want to know. This particular version of the software has been pretty extensively tested. They've corrected a lot of what I found to be issues. Kelly was talking about how it's resolved a lot of issues. I frankly think you're pretty safe with this one. And it last three numbers, or four numbers, which is what's your identifying factor, is 0786. And that is specific to this particular version of the software. So let's keep moving. Now, always read everything that they put up here. It's important to restart your tablet and your machine after completing the update process, or your ProStitcher may not function properly. Probably one of the most important statements on this website. Click on ProStitcher Connect Beta, and it gives you a lot more information. I am not talking about ProStitcher Lite. Again, I am not talking about ProStitcher Lite. From what I understand, there are still some issues. So I don't know, but everything I've read might be a wise idea to hold off. If you have a QMP20, a QMP18, a machine that uses ProStitcher Premium, then this is the one you want, the top one, ProStitcher Connect version 0786. To download it, you're going to click on the download button. And I am on my Windows computer right now, so you're probably going to see a couple of these downloaded to my Windows file. I'm sorry, my download file. It will take it a few minutes. Mine pops up with downloads, and I think I've got one other copy. That's what that one in parentheses means. Zip means you're not going to see nothing with this. This is basically like somebody has placed two letters in an envelope and sealed the envelope. That's what zip means. So it's closed, but we're gonna go ahead and open it up as soon as this downloads. And it'll take it a couple minutes, a pretty good size file, and you need to know that. So don't worry about it if it's taking a while for this to download. I am not talking about if you have already updated to Connect or you have already turned on the Wi-Fi on your tablet. That in itself is a whole separate thing. Right now we're just downloading. We're going to put it on a USB and we're going to put it on a tablet that supposedly has not been updated to Connect yet, or was on Connect and is no longer on Connect, is not connected to the Wi-Fi. I'm going to get to those steps shortly. So it's still downloading. When it downloads, you're going to go to a file on your computer called download. And there'll be a couple different ways that you can get there. And hopefully this will download very shortly. Okay, almost done with my download. I want to point this little circle out. This is kind of like a clock. And you can see that there's just a tiny bit of file left to download. My computer automatically goes to a download folder. You will need to know where your files that you download from the internet go. So you might want to make sure of that before you ever try doing this. We're going to let this go ahead and cook. So if you look closely at the file, the yellow one here, and I know that it's a little bit of a distance, there is a zipper around it. And that means, like I said earlier, that this is a zipped or closed file right now. That allows for a little bit faster download. It makes kind of compresses it. So while we're waiting, says now I can open my file. My download is complete. I'm going to click on Open File. It goes to Downloads on my C drive. And here it has PSP Update. Now, I can't do anything with these two yet. And I know that I can't because in this menu bar right here, I get the message to extract all. And what extract means is it will create a second folder in my downloads file. And from that, I can actually start moving these two applications to my USB drive and then take them to my computer. So I'm going to select Extract All, and it selects a destination and extraction file. It goes Users, Genie, Downloads, Update. And I will look for the file that says Update 24, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to look for the one that says 1 in parentheses. Yours probably will not. So I'm going to extract down at the bottom. Watch where my pink arrow goes. And again, a bar that shows the progress. And this is now the Downloads PSP1. This is the file folder I'll be able to use. I can actually, from this open folder, I could take and copy these to my USB drive, but I'm going to close it, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to log out from this. I'm just going to close it. My browser, okay, that's great. Thank you. And now we're going to go find my downloads folder. So I'm going to go to my files right here, File Explorer. And over here on the left menu bar, you see Downloads. And I've got two files that I want to point out. The first one, let's see if I can zoom in on it. I don't think I can zoom in close enough, but we'll try. There we go. All right, the top one right here, PSP Update. If you look to the left, the right, it says compressed folder. That's my zip folder. This is the file folder that's unzipped. It's just regular file folder. So I'm going to double click on it and you can see my 2 files. And now I'm going to take my USB drive. Let me see if I can, this one. I'm going to put it in to my computer on the side. Can't see what I'm doing, so it's trial and error right now. And it gave me the sound that says my USB is now connected. In fact, if I look over here, my D drive, on the left-hand side is where my USB is. I'm going to go back over because I've moved out of my downloads folder, reopen it. I'm going to select these 2 by holding Control and clicking on them. I can copy them, or I think we'll just copy them. Control, click, copy. If I could send them. I can rename them. Don't do that. It's going to look for them named exactly as they are. Now I'm going to go to my USB, which is my Lexar, and I'm going to go to my menu, select paste, click on it, and now I get another status bar that tells me what's happening. I'm about 20, you can see it's moving, and I'll show you where this ends up. Okay, and you can see at the very bottom, it's added these 2 files to my USB drive. So now I have enough information here that I can actually go to my tablet and start updating. And I'm going to turn this part off and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so again, I'm just going to repeat it. The assumption is that you're updating from ProStitcher Premium to ProStitcher Connect. Therefore, you shouldn't have, with Premium, you shouldn't have this icon right here, which is the internet icon, because so far in ProStitcher Premium, you have not been able to connect to the internet. It's okay to do this. I mean, it really and truly is. You're going to have to trust me on it. The first thing you're going to do after you've placed 2 files on your USB drive for the 786 software is you're going to update your software. You have to update to Connect in order to gain access to the internet. So I've inserted my USB drive in the hub of my tablet. It'll be different if you are on an 18, slightly different, not really. And other machines I'm not positive about. But you should have this screen and you have the word update on the top ribbon right here. So I'm going to take and I'm going to tap on update. And I have PreInstall 24048786 and PreInstall blah, blah, blah. And then I have my update. 786. All right. I like to do things twice, okay? And just to make sure, because sometimes you get a clean install, sometimes you don't. Actually, with this particular version, you do need to install it twice. So I'm going to hit pre-install and hit at the bottom, run. And my tablet will start doing, don't mind the background screen. It says checking pre-install version. This is to make sure that for this particular software, you have drivers, etc., that are specific to this software. So let's go ahead and run it. Okay, okay, and we're going to close that. And now my tablet should start and stop again. I'm going to go ahead and close out this background. So let's go ahead and we'll hit ProStitcher. Yes, we're going to launch it. So you're going to get a lot of repetitious movement in this thing. That's okay. It'll be well worth it in the end. I will warn you, once you get this installed and get the internet on, you're going to have, if you've never updated, you're going to have a lot of updates to your Windows. Say okay. It's okay. Now we're going to go back to update. This time we did the pre-install before, and you have to look for these words, pre-install. Now we're going to do ProStitcher update to the 24. You can either double click it or hit run. All right, it's checked the version. Now it says it's installed. I had installed it, but I'm reinstalling it. So I'm going to start and I'm going to confirm. It's updating my ProStitcher files. We can close this window. Now your computer will automatically restart. Technically, I would, after it restarts once, I would take it and shut everything down completely. Go back to the wall and turn it all off. Again, go back to the wall and turn it all off after this starts up. And that's for safety's sake. I know that if you've installed another application of some kind, another program, sometimes just letting the computer do its thing, you're fine. But with this, better safe than sorry. And again, it's going to actually boot up the ProStitcher. And your ProStitcher will probably look just a slight bit different. You won't necessarily get the double icons over here on the corner or wherever they are on your screen. You'll just get one. It will again check the version. I'm going to let it finish booting up, and I'm going to point out a couple things. I love it when the motors kick in. It just is such a comforting thought. So now I have my screen. At this point, and I know it's not something you want to look forward to, but at this point I would shut this down completely, go back to the wall, unplug the whole 9 yards, count to 30, and reboot it again. But for time, we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you how to turn on your internet. Okay, for me personally, I prefer to be out of ProStitcher Premium when I'm doing a lot of the computer type work, and it's just a security. It may not be necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. We have a couple icons. Number one will be now the web. You have an icon for the web, and that's fine. You have like a question mark on it, because at this point you most likely are not connected to the web. So let's go ahead and get out of ProStitcher. And at the bottom of the screen, you can do a couple different things. Go to your system settings, which is on Windows. I've got Windows 11. You may have to just go into settings some other way if you have not updated to Windows 11 yet. But you have this blue 4 squares, which are the Windows sign right here. Click on that and you're going to go to settings. Again, I have already connected to the World Wide Web on my computer, on my tablet. So mine might look a little bit different than yours right now. Bluetooth is on if you use a mouse or something. So we're going to go to network and internet over here. And it says I'm not connected. I'm going to go down to the one that says Wi-Fi and I'm going to turn it on. And then I'm going to, if I need, it will prompt me if I need to. It will prompt me to put in a password, which means on your internet, this is mine, I had to put in my password, okay? Down at the bottom of your screen, right? Let me see if I can point it out. Right there is a keyboard. And you can tap on that and you can actually type in your password. Mine is now connected to the internet, I know, for a couple different ways, like right here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, plus I've got this green symbol right here. Okay, let me see if I can get this to, okay. It says public network, that's recommended. Connect automatically within range, it gives me a lot of information. My security key, I'm not going to show you that because I don't want you using my Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to go back to system. Oops, sorry. System. See where am I? Right there. This is the one that is going to take you a long time if you have not connected to your internet. You're going to select Windows Update. I've just checked it. If I check for updates, I could get a list as long as 20. I hope I don't because I did just update last night. And it might take it a few minutes to check. It might, it would give you some options. So, hopefully, I did not turn on, oh, another one. Now it's downloading it. So what'll happen is it'll download, and I'm not going to install this right now, but it says get the latest updates as soon as they're available. I don't do that. I just try to update it like once a week. I think I read somewhere that Microsoft actually publishes their updates on Mondays, so maybe Tuesday I'll come in and try to update everything. Now, we're going to go back and we're going to finish this install. I'm on the World Wide Web. If it's the first time you've connected to the internet, it could be hours until it's finished. Just let it do it. Let it start, restart. I'm sorry. Start, restart, stop, restart, as often as Windows needs it to. You might be surprised. And now I'm going to go back to ProStitcher. So now I'm back in ProStitcher. Now that I have done this, anytime I install Windows, anytime I install any update, I will take it all the way to the wall. Turn everything off, wait, let it buffer, then restart. So I'm playing with a little bit with fire here just for time, but I really want you to do that. I've restarted. I went back to a black screen. I've restarted. Now, one more time, because I may have a ton of updates, and just to make sure everything is talking to everything else, I'm going to go back and I'm going to run PreInstall. Run it. Get out of that one. I'm going to get the whole 9 yards again. I'm going to let it check for my PreInstall version, and I'll be back with you when it's done with that. So again, I can repair. I don't want to do repair right now. I'm going to start it. It's copying. I'm going to get the same messages I got before, most likely. Yes. Okay. Okay. So And I'm done. So I'm going to close this. And I'm going to come back up here to ProStitcher. Yes. It will take it a few minutes to actually move into the program. But I'm going to select Update one more time. I know it's fiddly, but trust me, it works. And I think you'll be really happy with your results. I think I said that earlier. So now, okay, okay. Now I'm going to go to Update. I'm going to hit ProStitcher Update. Make sure it says PSP Update 24, blah, blah, blah. Double click or click Run. It's going to check it'll probably ask me to repair. I am not repairing it. I am going to install. Okay, so it's checked everything. It's checked all the versions. And yes, I know I've got an installed version, the same number. Restore version, no, I don't want to repair. I want to run the complete install again. Start, confirm, copying my files. As soon as it's done, okay, that took it a couple minutes to completely fill up the status bar. So now it says it's finished. I'm going to close it and everything's going to restart. And again, I'm going to take it back to the wall, turn everything off, close it all out, let the buffers clear, and restart it on my own. So I just woke my tablet back up, my machine. I had turned it off to the wall, had a nice, the machine and the tablet had a nice 30 to 60 second nap without any kind of power, any kind of buffering, nothing coming through. And I'm back up and it looks, I got no messages, that erroneous messages. I will tell, well, there we go. So there's my console because I do have a QMP20. So I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to go to, let me see, what do I want to do? I want to go to Advanced, make sure that my machine is selected, QuiltMaker Pro, that would be me. And I think I might be good to go now. I'm so excited because I've been using this version and I actually, it was lovely. I didn't have any problems with it on the last quilt I did, and I actually turned the whole quilt out from framing to getting it off the frame in about 2.5 hours. Although it was a lap quilt, but it was still, start to finish, it was not even touching the frame at the beginning of that 2.5 hours. Again, this is for those of you who have not gone from Premium to Connect and not turned on the internet. If you have done the internet, then you just turn it back on. If you want, it's right now it's disabled up here. I can enable it at this. I don't know why it won't let me right now. I'm not going to worry about it. We've been having internet problems in our neighborhood, so maybe not the best time to show that. But I hope this helps you, and I know that I'm excited because I know that ProStitcher wants to go forward, and we're going to get some really cool adds to this program as they go forward. Hope this helps. Talk to you later. This is Jeannie, signing out.